Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be going over the weapon choice crate that is in the Springtime Slaughter giveaway calendar rewards. When it was originally announced, this crate was unknown, but the weapons inside have since been revealed. So let's get into the info. So just a small recap on the actual reward login calendar. As you can see, it is the 4th of May event reward that we're looking at right now, which is the 5-star weapon choice box. This was not originally known. I think originally it was just advertised as a weapon choice box, not a 5-star weapon choice box. I think I was under the assumption that it was going to be a 5-star weapon choice box, but it is going to be a 5-star weapon choice box. And these other rewards obviously are still cemented as they were before. If you want to check out the full breakdown of this event and how you can get up to 7 free characters, just check out my original video on the event itself. In this video, it's going to be exclusively about this weapon crate. Now, as we have the weapons revealed, this is going to be weapon number 1. It is going to be the Violent Ransacking Club, which has got 35% attack, a very large bonus to AP when attacking, a better chance to cause minus 40% defense for 3 turns to the enemy. And then in the last slot, it is Ransack, attacks still 2 positive effects from the enemy you attack. Now, I think originally this was in a season store, so you might already have this weapon, but I'm not actually sure if it was exactly the same as this weapon, but I think it was. Someone can confirm for me. But this weapon is actually going to be quite useful against battling a character like Angel. You would still hurt defense buff, and you would also still hurt elusive, and at that point you could freely attack her for AP, and even if she rushed the next turn, you just attack with the character with the ransacking club in their hands and you steal those buffs away again. Then you do all the rushes against the character that would be debuffed effectively, and you could get that 40% defense down. As long as you hit this first before you do the rushes will come in on a character with defense down. However, if you try and set it up for the next turn, of course she's going to cleanse that, so be aware of that. This is a better chance to cause the minus 40% defense, so it is only about a 35% chance. And there are characters that have parts of their passives, parts of their kit, which has a 100% chance to actually proc 40% defense down on a tank. You've got characters, I believe, like Eva. I think maybe she's not a 100% chance, but it's much higher than 35%. So I like this weapon a lot. I did miss out on this one when it originally came in. I didn't actually have, huge amounts of the season store tokens to really make it a viable choice. But as we haven't really had any good weapons in there for a long time, I am disappointed I didn't pick it up, honestly. I was kind of hoping to get a weapon that would actually have a bigger impact. At the time it wouldn't. But now against Angel teams, it is actually quite impactful for sure. So this weapon already is a pretty good pickup, and it's a good fallback if I have no interest in any of the other weapons. The next one up is Lance's Sturdy Dagger. Now, I don't believe this one has been made available before, but again, it could be another one that's been in a season store or a choice crate in the past. We have had quite a few choice crates, and obviously, generally speaking, like, one of the weapons stands out a lot more than other ones. And then I forget all the other ones, basically, because I pick up the weapon I like. This has okay base stats, 30% HP, a medium bonus to AP when attacking, impenetrable defense, which is the basically improved version of absolute defense, where you can reduce incoming attacks down to 0 damage, but also slow the enemy by 20%, which increases their AP cost of all of their abilities and stuff by 20%. And then the last slot is at the start of the battle and turn, get 5% defense for 1 turn for every debuff on the enemy's living team. Now, the downside of this is it's already a 5-star weapon, and you can only upgrade it 3 times. So let's say you want to put defense on there, and then let's say fast healing or minus 50% incoming damage from crit attacks. You've only got 5% HP or 5% defense to do after that. You're going to lose out on probably like 10 to 15% of HP, and then again another 10 to 15% of defense just on the natural upgrades you could do on a weapon you built out the armory. This is only good for someone who's like brand new to the game in terms of like just getting their hands on a weapon that would take potentially a little bit of time to get built up. But the first weapon we've looked at already has a 4-slot rare, which is much harder to come by. I would say Ransack is not the best one to craft. If you're going to get lucky on a 4-slot in the armory, you want to do it on ones that are going to have like definitely a bigger impact. Ones like Rampage and stuff like this. But this is weapon number 2, and it is the more defensive option so far. So we've got more of an offensive weapon and more of a defensive weapon. Now the third weapon is a weapon that has been in these choice crates a lot of times. I'll be honest, a lot of times. It's Kapoor's Savage 6-shooter. It has got 35% attack, a huge bonus to AP when attacking, leech life when attacking, a better chance to regain HP by 120% of the enemy HP. This is not the off trait special that you want. And then the last layer has pain spread. When attacking, spread 1 negative status effect to an adjacent enemy for 1 turn. Does not include infection. Also doesn't include maim. Just FYI, it doesn't include maim. But this is actually kind of interesting. I still think I would want to get this weapon in my hands. But in every single crate where it's been in, I've always wanted one of the other weapons more. Like, one of the other weapons is better. And already, I would want the ransack weapon more than this, unfortunately. If this was in, like, a season store or something, I'd probably pick it up. Just because, again, talking about how I wouldn't want to craft ransack, I definitely would not want to craft pain spread. Like, it isn't like a top tier 4-slot, but it can be fun, it can be useful. There can be potentially like control teams in the future that come out that, you know, you could utilize an alert character in. You could effectively like do 2 stuns off of turn 1 with like diamond and having another alert character attack one of those stun characters and spread that stun to one of the adjacent enemies. So you'd have an extra character stun for 1 turn. That's going to be quite useful for things like Conquest, Challenge Run. It's going to be decent for raids if you are struggling against certain defense teams, but generally it's going to be more of a PvE weapon in my mind. So this is the third weapon, more of a support weapon. So it's actually kind of decent selection so far. Attacking weapon, defensive weapon, more of a support weapon. And in the last slot, we get the return of a weapon that I think a lot of people would have had already, especially if you've opened the crates in the past. This was one of the crates, I think, where it actually had Marcus's Savage Thompson in and Kapoor's pistol, and the Thompson obviously came out on top there. It is actually a really nice weapon. If you are newer to the game, I'd say this is probably the best weapon in the crate, except for if you're having serious problems with angel teams, then the ransack weapon is going to be very useful for you there as well. But this is a good attacking weapon. It can go on a leader, it can go on a support character. You can change out the attack for HP and put on a defense team if you want, although defense team characters don't really need AP on attack anymore. But, you know, it's a good weapon if your armory is not, like, super buffed up. It's already pretty much created for you. But the same can be said for that ransack weapon. So, for me, I would recommend between the 2 weapons to pick up would be the Marcus weapon or the ransack weapon. And I would only really pick up the Marcus weapon if you don't have any problems with angel teams. If you're having problems with angel teams, you can definitely, you know, create a team where like someone like Mike can hold that weapon and you can swap out the attack for HP, and that's going to work extremely well in his hands. He's going to steal those buffs away, he's going to protect the other characters on the team because of his bodyguard, and the infection can get rid of things like the payback characters on these defense teams at the moment. So, you know, there's definitely a nice weapon in here. Just depends on which one you think is nice for you. So I don't think these are like the best weapons that we could possibly have been given. I think we had better weapons quite recently. For instance, the Sophia's bat in the recent crate where you could choose characters, or that bat, or the Uncle Sam weapon is much better than any of these weapons in here. But if you pick up the ransack weapon and Sophia's bat and you have a heavy, strong attack team, you're getting big attack buffs, you're also getting ransack, you're going to get lots of boost there and potential defense down every now and again. So that's my recommendation. That is the weapon I'm definitely picking up. It is going to be the ransack weapon. I did miss out on it once before, and it's not going to be again. Not going to happen again, guys. So it's not going to happen again. But do tell me your thoughts. What weapon are you going to get your hands on out of these weapons? Do you want to, you know, double down? Have you picked up that ransack weapon before? You're going to go for 2. I mean, you could potentially go for 2. You never know. There could be teams that come out that require 2 characters that need the ransack, you know, to steal their buffs away. It isn't an impossibility. And like I said, it isn't exactly a 4-slot that you want to focus too much time on crafting, but it still is extremely effective. It definitely is effective. But that's the information on the weapon crate. Like I say, any thoughts in the comments down below. That is the end of my video. I want to thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.